Morning peeps, I'm back and I'm back in a very confused state. Now, about an hour ago I recorded a video, uploaded it to YouTube and took it off after 10 minutes because actually recording that video and then listening to it myself made me realise I might not have made the correct decision, because in that video I was going to go through my original plan of taking out Salah, bringing in Dibbling, taking out Ndoye, bringing in Haaland. But this Trent news, I was just going to bench Trent. But playing through it all, I thought, why don't I just take a hit and bring in Gvardiol? Because he's going up in price tonight. And all these things, I thought I'd just take a hit, get him in. We can't guarantee, though, that Trent isn't going to play that Everton match. Slot was very cryptic. Very cryptic. You know, he said he back by the end of the season, whatever that means. So, you know, possibly just back for the match against Palace to say goodbye to the fans. This could be it, you know, because to be honest, once that title's wrapped up, Liverpool are on the beach. And there's a lot of conjecture amongst the content classes that Salah and Liverpool were better off out of the Champions League. But I don't believe that. I think Salah is worse off out of the Champions League, because as soon as the league's wrapped up, the entire team are mentally going to not be at the highest level. Whereas if they were still in the Champions League, they'd be buzzing, they'd be looking forward to being champions of Europe, they'd all be putting a proper shift in. There'd be a little bit of rotation, but I doubt there'd be a huge amount, you know. So, but now there's going to be massive rotation, I think. You know, Salah will probably play, he'll still be keen, but a lot of the rest of them won't be. You know, the likes of Bradley are going to want to impress, and people like Elliott are going to get game time, aren't they? And Slot's already said that the only reason Elliott doesn't get game time is because he occupies the same position as Trent, as Salah. But, you know, I think he's going to be given a run out or two. And I'm quite happy to get rid of Salah still. That is not why I'm back. The reason I'm back is because I've decided to take a hit. Now, where are we, peeps? Where are we? Game week 29. So, I will be taking out Ndoye, bringing in Haaland, just as planned. I will be taking out Salah, just as planned, but I will also be taking out Trent. And I looked at the choices, and Gvardiol's so obvious, I've got to do it. I mean, City have got Akanji, Ake, and Stones all pretty much out until the end of the season. You know, Gvardiol is going to be playing. Possibly, though, he is going to be playing not in his more attacking role, which is an issue. But against Leicester, I suspect it might not matter too much where he's playing. But it looks the obvious option. City are very, very likely to have a double. I think it's up over 90%, because even if they lose to Bournemouth, they're still going to have a double as long as Villa don't lose their FA Cup game as well. And that looks very unlikely. So they're pretty much guaranteed to have a double. Anyone else I bought in couldn't really guarantee that they were going to have a double. And they don't have quite the attacking nous that, you know, I could bring in an Arsenal defender. Arsenal defender would be an option. They'd be the nearest option, but we can't guarantee they're going to have a double game week. They're like 50-50 to have a double. And their fixtures are, what have we got? Fulham, Everton. They've got good fixtures, Arsenal, though, to be fair. But I think Gvardiol is the obvious upside play, isn't he? A lot of people on free hit this week are bringing him in. Everyone's going to want him for Leicester. He's rising in price tonight. He will go up again. If I don't buy him this week and he scores or does something against Brighton, I'm going to have to bring him in, aren't I, basically, anyway? And it'll cost me more. So he's definitely coming in, which means Salah was going anyway and is going. I now have 6 million to spend. Now, I looked at 3 options so far. I can't tell you for sure who it will be, because it's going to take me a while to decide this. The current favourite is Elanga. I would rather have had Gibbs White, but he costs over 6 million. Current favourite Elanga hasn't done much yet, but they do have Ipswich. A lot of people are bringing him in on the free hit, so it kind of covers me slightly. Or, if Forest wins 7-0, at least I should get some points. It won't cover Wood, obviously, but at least I should get some points. The other option I looked at was Minte, but his fixture, he's got City, obviously not a great time to bring him in. Nobody really has fantastic fixture. I mean, the natural choice would have been a Bournemouth midfielder, but I've already got Semenyo and Clover. Who else is there really? Everton, West Ham cancel each other out. Garnacho, but United's fixture's horrible. Fulham. Oh, hang on. Tottenham. I haven't actually thought about Tottenham. I haven't given them much consideration. Maybe I won't have a look at them now, but there is options there, aren't there, for Tottenham? There are options there, so let's have a very brief look at their prices. See, Maddison even Johnson's too expensive. Kulusevski's out. This Odegaard's interesting, isn't he? Scored two goals last night, I think, didn't he? I'm going to have to look into him. Obviously, they don't have a double, do they? They don't have a double. And their fixtures are Chelsea away. Oh, we have got a couple of decent fixtures. They do have a couple of decent fixtures. Away at Fulham's not great. And away at Chelsea's not great either, is it? Or it's not awful. So, he's not nailed yet, is he? He's not nailed. I'm going to have to look into him now. Like I said, Minte, not really anyone else. I can't really think of anyone else. So Elanga looks like the one. They could have a double, Forest. And if they do have a double, their double is unlikely to be in game week 33. So it could actually come forward, possibly. So, Elanga, they don't have great fixtures, but they do have a good fixture here. So as a -4, I hate short-term -4s, but Gvardiol is more than a 1-week punt, isn't he? We already know Trent. Trent's going to cost me a transfer somewhere down the track, which realistically will be for a hit. Anyway, unless he starts against Everton. So, I've got to take a -4. Elanga can come in. Away at Ipswich. I captain Haaland. A lot of talk. Mamouche or Haaland. I've got both. So I don't have to worry too much. Hopefully Mamouche gets a Leicester game if he doesn't start tomorrow. And he does get minutes anyway, so you never know. So it's looking pretty good this week. Pretty good. I'm going to have to decide whether to start Harwood-Bellis or Robinson. Robinson home to Tottenham or Harwood-Bellis. I mean, Tottenham have just played in Europa. Might be a bit tired. I'll probably start Robinson, to be honest. I've got a sneaking feeling now that Harwood-Bellis is going to do something this week, but he probably won't. So, Fernandez, vice-captain. This is all for a -4, of course, now. But what was putting me off Dibbling, I had a look at Dibbling this week. He's been in poor form. He's not been selected for the England 21s even. He's been demoted to the under-19s. Bayer Leverkusen are looking at him. Southampton are a selling club. They're going to want to sell him and get as much as they can. He hasn't been the same since his injury. They're not going to overplay him. He has, in fact, had his minutes managed. He doesn't do enough off the ball. I don't think the new manager is particularly keen on him. So even if I bought in Dibbling for this Wolves match, I can't guarantee that Dibbling will actually start. Although, of course, no, I'm not getting him. He will start and he will score. I can't do much about that. So, the benefits of this team and this hit is that I cover the free hitters a little bit by having Gvardiol and Elanga, who will be in most free hit teams. I also have Gvardiol in place for the game against Leicester. I no longer have to worry about selling Trent. So I think it is worth -4. And I have more bench cover now too. So I think doing this video now, I am pretty much convincing myself that this is what I will be doing. I'm definitely getting rid of Salah and getting in Haaland anyway. But Elanga looks the most promising alternative, doesn't he? I'm going to have to do it before deadline, before the price change deadline. So I've got 4.5 hours to think about it. I think bringing in this Tottenham player would probably be a knee-jerk. I'm going to have to look into him more. I don't know what he's been doing. Has he been playing even? Let's have a look. Has he been playing? So we'll have a look at Tottenham. We'll have a look at the transfers in for the week while we're here. So, Odobert, 5.3. He played the full 90 against Bournemouth, 2 points. He played 66 minutes against City. You know, Kulusevski's obviously out, isn't he? So that might make a difference for him. He got 2 points against City. And they're the only 2 games he started. He obviously scored 2 goals in Europe, didn't he, this week? His expected goal involvement pretty poor in those 2 games. And his potential assists very poor. So given that we know very little about him really and that don't have a double, I think Elanga is obviously a more sensible pick. So I will be bringing him in. Let's have a quick look at the transfers in for the round, shall we? And since Fernando's got a hat-trick, he's coming in massive. 500,000 so far this week. Absolutely massive coming in for him. Elanga is up there, you know, only 48,000 compared with 200,000 for Gibbs White. I'd rather have Gibbs White, but I haven't got the money. I'd rather have Mitoma too, I think, but I haven't got the money for him either. And the only other cheap, well, there's Hudson-Odoi coming in. A lot of people buying Hudson-Odoi. Maybe I should look at Hudson-Odoi as well. He's an obvious alternative to Elanga, isn't he? I hadn't really thought about him. So we'll look into that. So I don't know which one of those I'll be buying, but it looks like I've narrowed it down to Elanga or it's no West Ham. It's like Paqueta, whatever his name is, Paqueta. But Kudos is over 6 million, so I can't get him. But I think it's very likely I'll get Elanga or Hudson-Odoi. Wood. 300,000 people have bought in Wood. More than have bought in Haaland. Not bringing in João Pedro, but I am certainly, definitely buying Haaland. So, I've pretty much nailed my master of City, haven't I, here? So, very interesting Trent news, wasn't it? Very interesting. And I do honestly believe that Salah is a lot worse option without Trent in the team. They go together really well. And I don't know if even Bradley's ready yet, is he? So he probably will be after the international break go. But it's not so good for Salah, I think, not having Trent there. I mean, I've noticed that of all the players on the pitch, it's always Trent that tries his utmost to pick out Salah, whereas a lot of the other ones now go to the other side. Right, so, and a lot of the play now probably may go down that other side too, mightn't it, rather than Salah's side without Trent in the team. So I think that's what I'm going to do, peeps. I think that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm not overly bullish on Elanga or Hudson-Odoi. I would much rather have had Gibbs White if I was getting a Forest player in, but the options aren't there this week, and the hit really is to get Gvardiol in, to be honest. Is much more of a priority than bringing in Elanga. And the thing is, Elanga's got a good one this week anyway. Next week I'm not too fast, but I am thinking with the fact I've got this assistant manager chip and that, I am thinking that I might well wildcard next week. I don't like my defenders next week. I don't like my goalkeepers, right? So I don't like my goalkeepers going forward. Flecken and Pickford. Neither have a double. I'd rather have Henderson, who I could get for free. Let's be realistic. I could get him for free. But uses a transfer, doesn't it? And I don't like my defenders next week. I don't like them at all. That's why I liked Trent home to Everton. So I probably, we don't know if Robinson's got a double game. If he has, I could take out Colwell and bring in Munoz next week. Munoz. But that's now for a hit because I've already used the goalkeeper transfer. And like I said, Elanga might not have a double. Bournemouth might not have a double, but they probably will. They've got great fixtures here. West Ham could have a double. I might want to get Areola in for the other double. So I've got a double goalkeeper in each one. So I'm thinking I might well end up wildcarding in game week 30. It's not out of the question, or game week 31. And the thing is, I've got my assistant manager chip, and I'm not sure I want to play it now. I'll see how I get on this week. If I have a good week this week, I'm more likely to not want to play my assistant manager in 31. I might want to tuck in and play it at the end of the season and use the same strategy others are using of using my bench boost in 33 or whatever. But we don't know whether we're going to have the double game weeks announced before the game week 30. So basically, I'm up in the air. But either way, I think Elanga's not awful. If Forest do it, it's 50-50 whether Forest end up having a double. Maybe slightly less. I do fancy Brighton a bit more. But he's certainly good this week. And whoever I buy this week, I can't be sure we're going to have a double. So I thought I'd just get the one with a better fixture this week, which is Hudson-Odoi or Elanga, isn't it? So I am actually going off a little bit playing my assistant manager chip between 31 and 34 because it will involve having to use a transfer in game week 33. So we shall see. But anyway, all things are open. But I've basically come on to say that I'm definitely going through with my Salah plan. He's definitely going. And Trent is going for Gvardiol as well. So a bit of upside chasing there. -4. But like I said, if Trent is out for a while, which it looks like, it would end up being for a -4 anyway, unless I did in fact wildcard in 30. But if I wait, I might not want to wildcard in 30 and I could miss Gvardiol points or, I'll go do it now basically. Anyway, peeps, that's about it. I think we had a look at this yet? I can't remember because I've done a couple of versions of these videos and deleted them. So I can't remember if I've done it in this one yet. But Gvardiol's going up in price tonight. Kirkes, he would have been an option if I didn't get, he'd be an option, wouldn't he? Instead of getting Gvardiol in. I could have gone Kirkes, which would give me more money to spend on a midfielder. But, there aren't any really. Even if you got up to 7 million or rather than 6 million. Who do you get? Because you can't guarantee any of them have a double. And the real ones I want are Newcastle and Palace midfielders. I don't really even want Elanga, to be honest. The only reason I'm taking this hit is because they've got Ipswich this week. That is a 1 week punt. But the Gvardiol is a bit more than a 1 week punt, isn't he? Which I think justifies taking this hit. So Trent falling tonight. Salah falling tonight. Hall falling. Isaac falling. Konsa falling. And that's about it, I think. Fabianski falling. Few people got him. And if you do have Fabianski, you're probably going to want to be getting rid of him, aren't you? Because you're going to want one keeper that has a double in 32 and one keeper that has a double in 33. But you're going to end up getting less for him now, unfortunately, unless you bought him cheaper. But you're not going to want to get rid of him this week, are you? So you're just going to have to wear it, I think. Minte could be rising shortly. You know, there's a case for me getting Minte instead of Elanga, because if Brighton do have a game week, I'm more likely to want to keep him, I think. But yeah, that's about it. So at least if I get Gvardiol now, price-wise I'm better off, aren't I? So anyway, peeps, that's about it. You know, I'm off now. I've had enough. You've had enough. And I can't guarantee that between now and 2 p.m. New Zealand time, I do change my mind on that part of it. But I'll be a Elanga part of it. But I will definitely be taking out Salah, and I will definitely be bringing Haaland in and captaining him. That's the most important thing. Anyway, peeps, so that's about it. So I'm off now. So like and subscribe, and I shall talk to you all later. You know, we're not going to be spending 5 minutes on the like and subscribe team today. You know, I'm only doing this. I didn't go for a park run this morning, by the way, peeps, because we're doing a city to surf tomorrow, which is 12k, and the other half didn't want to do a park run today because she's having to do 12k tomorrow. So I didn't do it either today, and you know, so I'll go for a run in a minute. I'd go and do 5k down to the gym, because unlike other people, peeps, I do not take the car to the gym and then go on the treadmill, you know, because to me, that's absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I run to the gym. Now I don't go on a treadmill at all, because I'd rather run out in the real world. And so I go to the gym, do 5k, go to the gym, do a few pull-ups and all those sort of things, and then go on the rowing machine for a bit, which is now my go-to FPL thinking machine. You know, it used to be running where I did all my FPL work, but now it's the rowing machine, because it's so incredibly boring. But thinking about FPL is a great way of passing the time while on the rowing machine. So anyway, peeps, like and subscribe, because I'm off now. And take care. Have a fantastic game week if you own the same players as me. If you don't, have a bloody awful week, and I hope you get no points. And I'll be back next week when we've got nothing to talk about for 2 weeks, because we cannot do any FPL planning until after the FA Cup games. But what we can do is have a wider look at FPL and what's going on in the community, in particular those pricks down at Hub, because they sent out an email to people, whether they wanted it or not, telling them that they're going to be looking at integrating gambling websites into their own site, and they're actually asking people what would make them most want to join a gambling website. You know, can you believe that? They want to know whether you're more likely to join if it's got FPL thing and all this type of thing. And basically what they're doing is, as usual, not caring about their subscribers, many of whom might have gambling problems in the past or are prone to gambling. Hub don't care about that. They just want to hook in as many as they can to sell subscriptions so that they can get money out of advertising. You know, so they're double dipping. They're getting money off you for subscribing, and they're getting further money off you when you go to the gambling sites that are going to be integrated into their own sites. So a bunch of vermin. We know that from the hacking, and they haven't changed their spots, peeps. They're exactly the same. So we might do a video on that during the week. I even had to set up a new account on Twitter because I deleted it, and go and have a look to see what people are saying about it on Twitter. And naturally, people aren't happy about the fact that Hub are doing this, and it's no real surprise, is it? You know, they said they were looking for opinion on it, but you can guarantee pretty much that even if everyone hates it, they'll still go and do it anyway. Anyway, pick some off now, so like and subscribe. And we did spend 5 minutes on the like and subscribe team page, as we always do. So cheers for now then, peeps. My voice is going, and I'll talk to you later anyway. So bye for now then, peeps.